Normally, ladies and gentlemen, somebody stripping and taking off their clothes at an official meeting, I would say, that's a no-no. However, I may have to give this guy an exception. There's a father who stripped down to his underwear at a school board meeting to expose how silly anti-maskers are being. This is at the Dripping Springs Independent School. I'm not making this up. That's the name of the school system, all right? Let's just go to the video.
I'm here to say that I do not like government or any other entity, just ask my wife, telling me what to do. But sometimes I got to push the envelope a little bit, and I just decided that I'm gonna not just talk about it, but I'm gonna walk the walk. At work, they make me wear this jacket. I hate it. They make me wear this shirt and tie. I hate it. On the way over here, I ran 3 stop signs and 4 red lights. I almost killed somebody out there. But by God, it's my roads too. So I have every right to drive as fast as I want to, make the turns that I want to. I got over here to the school today and the parking lot's full, and I decided I was gonna park wherever the hell I want to, which in this case happened to be a handicap. But I really hate my clothes. So, it's simple protocol, people. We follow certain rules. We follow certain rules for a very good reason. Can you stop?
Mr. Akers, I understand. I believe you're a swimmer, but if you would mind putting your pants back on for a comment, that would be appreciated.
Well, listen, okay, his time is already up, so he's finished. All right. I like this guy. Personally, I know the point was extreme, but I like it. He was making a point that when we don't follow rules, because obviously we have freedom, and we should not have to follow rules of social order, not follow rules of safety. Let's just abandon all of it. And here's the reality. His argument has intellectual integrity. If you're saying that it's your constitutional right to not wear a mask, and it's a constitutional violation if anyone says to wear a mask, well, it must be a constitutional violation for somebody to tell you to wear a seatbelt, or to wear a tie to work, or to have shoes when you go into a convenience store. All of that must also be a constitutional violation if the mask mandate is a constitutional violation as well. Let's put up a picture of this guy. His name is James Akers. James Akers is the father of a high school student. I'm sure that high school student is probably not happy about this, but oh well. The father of a high school student in the Dripping Springs Independent School District, west of the state capital of Austin, used his 90 seconds to speak at the 23rd August meeting to urge the district to institute mask protocols in schools, despite the inconvenient nature of wearing masks. Great freaking point. All right, Dina, what were your thoughts when you saw this?
He did a great visual demonstration, and I think that is what people are gonna remember, which is good. Here's the deal. This is how you break this down. We have constitutional rights and we have privileges in this country. Privileges can be taken away, can have restrictions on them, such as driving a car. That's a privilege, not a right. That's why there's a ton of restrictions on it. Same with entering a private business. It's a privilege, not a right. That's how we decide whether or not things can be restricted in this country. And there's actually very few, maybe constitutional rights. Most of the things people are thinking about and talking about are privileges. And we allow the government, we allow private companies to restrict those. So his case was perfect. I usually use that as an example. Dress codes, we have them all the time. And the reason why is because going into those places is a privilege, not a right.
I like the fact that he had a build up to taking off his clothes, right? And the buildup was, let me tell you about what I did before I got here. I decided to run stop signs, and I also ran red lights. I almost killed somebody, but who cares? The road belongs to me too, right? And really, when you look at it from that context, from the angle that he presented it, That is how ridiculous the argument of mask mandates are when people say, oh, I'm anti-masker because it's a violation of my constitutional right. No, we have common sense rules and regulations about all of our social order here in the United States. Why do you think they conflate their privilege to do something or to be in a particular place with their constitutional right?
I actually think it's ignorance. And why do we not have maybe more basic civic rights lessons in this country? In terms of even just voting, we saw what a mess it was when people didn't understand the basics of how voting works in our country, and also just plain civics. We only have these, Bill of Rights, and people maybe haven't read them. They don't understand them. So I think this is an example of, hey, it's great to live in a country that has rights, but if you don't understand them, this is a big mess. And this is an example of that.